Do you keep hearing podcast ads, like this one, for example, but always wonder how you actually get involved with them for your own brand or organization? Well, it's easier than you think. We're Acast, and we give you the platform to do it all yourself. Browse thousands of popular podcasts, choose the shows that match your perfect audience, set your budget, and launch. And if you want a hand, our podcast specialists are there to help you launch with confidence. This is podcast advertising without barriers. Get started at acast.com/advertise.
On today's Smart 7, Andy Burnham lays out plan to decentralise power, government reaches deal with resident doctors and much more. It's Tuesday 30th of June, it's Asteroid Day, and happy birthday Cheryl Tweedy.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Monday saw the man most likely to become the UK's next Prime Minister make his first substantial policy speech. Speaking at the People's History Museum in Manchester and dressed in his trademark T-shirt and jacket, Andy Burnham laid out a clear vision for the UK. If he becomes leader, he says that growth needs to become decentralised to every postcode, and part of that will include a shifting of power from Downing Street.
I have had 10 years of fighting the Whitehall machine, blocking this place's progress, and I am simply not prepared to accept the same for any area coming after Greater Manchester. The whole of Whitehall will now be required to get behind our places and work together with them to make quicker, more joined-up decisions.
He didn't detail any plans for a cabinet, but he promised the biggest council housing building programme since the post-war period and a reform of business rates designed to create a renaissance on Britain's high streets. Tory leader Kemi Badenoch was being polite but firm as she requested a formal presentation of the new PM's plan.
Andy Burnham should delay the summer's parliamentary recess, come to the House and tell us his plan for this country. This is not a game. This should not be a soap opera.
A new report has found that the current education system is not serving the interests of white working class children. The independent report, which was commissioned last summer, says that serious reforms are needed to address the fact that generations have been robbed of opportunity, according to Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson. There are 24 recommendations which include free access to public transport, improved childcare support and making more apprenticeships available. Phillipson was attacked last week by Tory leader Kemi Badenoch, who accused her of being a spiteful class warrior. But she says this report proves that there is a huge issue.
If you work hard in life, you'll get on. That, I'm afraid, is just not true. That is a lie that we tell ourselves, that it isn't the reality facing many families across this country. Education and the support that families get has the huge potential to change that, to make our country fairer. And I think it tells you a lot about the Tories that they're not interested, actually.
The report also recommends curtailing smartphone use, particularly in schools, which coincides with a formal ban that started on Monday. Matthew Barber, Police and Crime Commissioner, says Thames Valley Police have been supporting schools in their area with measures to support the ban.
We found that 60% of schools, they have a policy, they say they're phone free, but actually it's really based on just keep it in your bag, turn it off. And we know the reality is that leads to conflict between teachers and pupils and all of the disruption that can cause. So a physical way of doing that is, as you say, a lockbox where all the phones get locked up at the start of the school day. I'm not being prescriptive, we're just providing the funding to those schools and saying it's up to head teachers to decide what solution works best for you.
There was good news on Monday as the long-running dispute with resident doctors finally came to an end. New Health Secretary James Murray succeeded where West Streeting struggled, negotiating a deal that will see a 3.5% pay rise, which will be backdated to April. The deal also includes more training places, out-of-pocket expenses for things like exam fees, and a commitment to accelerate pay rates again in 2027. The deal brings an end to 3 years of industrial action, and Health Secretary Murray says he's looking forward to a better relationship in the future.
I want this to mark the beginning of a new chapter of engagement and cooperation with the resident doctor profession, the BMA and other unions representing NHS staff's best interests. I'm looking forward to working with you all to build an NHS fit for the future.
UN officials are making plans for as many as 10,000 casualties from the aftermath of the Venezuelan earthquakes as the window for finding survivors closes. More than 1,700 people have died, with thousands more injured, but tens of thousands are still missing as the country struggles to recover. American troops are working to repair the damaged port of La Guaira to speed up the delivery of aid for survivors. Acting President Delcy Rodriguez addressed the nation on Monday, and she says that huge progress has been made on restoring utilities like power and water.
We have already recovered 75% of the electricity service. Teams will continue working until electricity is completely restored in La Guaira. It's the same with water, which is 68% recovered.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, in association with Metro, Wimbledon starts with a wobble for the Brits and tributes to a sitcom star. Right after this.
Here's a tip for you. There's a podcast out there with fans waiting to be your next customer. They tune in every week, they trust the host, and that host wants to talk about brands like yours in their own words to their audience. The problem is, you just haven't been introduced yet. We're Acast, where that introduction happens. As the world's largest podcast marketplace, we let you browse shows, see who's listening, and book host-read sponsorships or run your own ads, all from one platform. Transparent pricing, real-time data, complete control. Start advertising on podcasts by visiting acast.com/advertise.
Welcome back. Monday saw more World Cup drama as Brazil snuck past Japan with a 95th-minute winner, while Germany and Holland both went home after penalty losses to Paraguay and Morocco, respectively. Monday also saw the official start of Wimbledon, and it didn't go particularly well for the Brits, with both Emma Raducanu and Jack Draper forced to withdraw because of injury. Cameron Norrie also went out in round one, losing to American Michael Jeng. Novak Djokovic and Jannik Sinner both made it through to round two, and all eyes will be on centre court this afternoon as Serena Williams faces off against Australia's Maya Joint. Serena got a wild card entry, and the 14-time champion says she's taking a relaxed approach.
As of now, I'm not nervous. My expectations here is just to take it easy and to be calm and to have fun, which is something I historically have never done, but in a good way.
This summer sees Tom Holland put on the Spidey suit for a fourth time in the new blockbuster Spider-Man Brand New Day. Bertie's already got an idea for who might replace him when he decides to hang up the distinctive mask. Speaking to Empire magazine, he suggested that Owen Cooper might be the perfect option. Cooper has scooped no less than 15 awards for his role in Adolescence, and at just 16 he's already won an Emmy, a Golden Globe and a BAFTA. He popped up with Jimmy Fallon, who wanted to know if Peter Parker could be in his future.
I've seen this on TikTok, everyone thinks I expected to play Spider-Man, but I was like, no, that's not true. It was a dream of mine since I was a kid, so yeah, it's I'm not expecting it, I just wanted to be it, so yeah.
The death was announced on Monday of one of the nation's favourite actresses, Dame Penelope Keith, at age 86. She passed away peacefully at home in Surrey after a long battle with cancer. It's hard to explain just how popular Penelope Keith was at her peak. She had 2 massive sitcoms, Keeping Up Appearances and The Manor Born, which dominated ratings in the late 70s and early 80s and still get repeated to this day. She also spent time in theatre and won both BAFTA and Olivier Awards over the course of a long career, while she was also awarded an OBE, a CBE and made a Dame in 2014. She remained remarkably modest, as was clear during this interview with the BBC. Rest in peace, Penelope.
I was fairly plain looking, really, and tall, which was just a burden I carried with me from a very early age. And they'd say, of course, well, yes, you'll be right, but you won't come into your own till you're 40.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
Here's a tip for you. There's a podcast out there with fans waiting to be your next customer. They tune in every week, they trust the host, and that host wants to talk about brands like yours in their own words to their audience. The problem is, you just haven't been introduced yet. We're Acast, where that introduction happens. As the world's largest podcast marketplace, we let you browse shows, see who's listening, and book host-read sponsorships or run your own ads, all from one platform. Transparent pricing, real-time data, complete control. Start advertising on podcasts by visiting acast.com/advertise.